My parents drained my retirement account without telling me, just so they could remodel their kitchen. They said I owed them that much for letting me live under their roof as a kid. That was the moment I realized they never saw me as family, just a walking, breathing safety net. Bear with me because this whole thing is wild. Hey viewers, just a quick thanks, over 15% of you are already subscribed. It means a lot. I used to believe that loyalty mattered more than anything, that no matter how hard things got, you didn't turn your back on your family. But now I know. Some people wear the word family like armor, just so they can bleed you dry without guilt. And my parents, they were experts at it. Growing up, I wasn't the golden child. That was my younger brother, Matt. He was the charming one, the miracle baby my mom always said she prayed for. I was the oldest, the quiet one, the fixer, the one who didn't need as much. At least that's what they always told me when I asked why Matt got a car at 16, while I was still biking 5 miles to work. It's different with him, they'd say. He's not as strong as you. That line followed me well into adulthood. Every time they needed something, money, help with bills, someone to co-sign, they always leaned on me. And I let them, because I thought that's what being a son meant. When I turned 24, I dropped out of grad school to come home and help them after my dad got laid off. I worked 2 jobs, bartending at night and tech support during the day, just to keep the lights on in their house. Matt, he stayed at college, switched majors 3 times, got arrested once for weed possession. My parents bailated him out without blinking. When I asked why I had to be the one to make sacrifices while Matt kept getting second chances, my mom looked at me like I was insane. You're just better with stress. Matt's sensitive. It wasn't until later I realized sensitive just meant he never faced consequences. By 30, I had managed to crawl my way into a stable career in cybersecurity, paid off my student loans, started contributing to a retirement fund. I wasn't rich, but I was finally okay. That's when my parents asked me for the favor. They wanted to move in with me for a few months while their house was being renovated. I didn't know they meant entirely on my dime, or that they'd bring Matt and his girlfriend with them, or that a few months would turn into a year and a half of hell. They treated my apartment like a hotel, left messes, took over my bedroom, ran up my bills, and when I tried to talk about it, "You're lucky to have a family who needs you," my mom said. "Some people would kill for that." The breaking point came last year. I got a notification from my bank about suspicious activity on my retirement account. I hadn't touched it in months. $42,000 gone. They had used my identity to request an early withdrawal and rerouted the deposit to their account. When I confronted them, my dad didn't even flinch, just looked me in the eye and said, "You weren't using it. We thought it made more sense to put it towards something we can enjoy now." What was it for? New kitchen counters and a hot tub. I wanted to vomit. I told them to leave the next day. They acted like I was the villain. Matt called me selfish. My mom cried and told me I was destroying the family. But I didn't budge. I froze every account, changed passwords, hired a lawyer, even pressed charges, forged documents, theft, financial abuse. It wasn't just about the money anymore. It was the realization that they had never once seen me as a person, just a tool, a bank, a backup plan. They tried to flip the story to the rest of the family. Said I'd turned on them, that I'd lost my mind. One aunt told me I should be grateful they didn't kick me out when I was 18. I was working full-time at 17 and paying rent, but sure, grateful. That's when it really sank in. None of them ever saw what I gave up. They only saw what I refused to keep giving. It's been 9 months since I cut contact completely. No calls, no visits. I blocked every number, told HR at work to redirect any attempts to reach me. They tried to sue me to get access to my accounts again. My lawyer shut it down in 2 weeks. I kept every record, every email, every forged document. They didn't stand a chance. But emotionally, that's taken longer to process. Because I wasn't just mourning the money. I was mourning the fantasy, the lie I held onto for years that if I just worked hard enough, was generous enough, forgiving enough, they'd finally treat me like a son instead of an investment. Now, I live alone in a small place I bought under an LLC, so they can't find it. I have peace, not the fake peace of keeping the family happy while falling apart inside. Real peace, the kind that comes when you finally realize you don't have to earn love that should have been given freely. Do I miss them? No. I miss the version of them I invented so I wouldn't have to face the truth. I miss the hope I used to carry around like a shield. But I don't miss the guilt. I don't miss the manipulation. And I sure as hell don't miss being told that my pain was just part of being a good son. So if you're watching this and you've been made to feel like you owe them everything just because they gave you life, let me tell you something I wish someone told me earlier. You don't. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to walk away. You're allowed to stop bleeding for people who sharpen the knives with your trust. My parents gave me life, then spent years trying to drain it from me. But I took it back. And I'm not giving it to anyone who hasn't earned it.